Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 98th episode of Wrestleview Post Raw. I'm Mike Tedesco, the editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com.
And I'm Victoria Tedesco.
WWE, I say this from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, dear.
Go fuck yourself.
Why do you have to start off like that? Why?
Why
do you have to do that?
Because in 2020, they're stealing from us our time, our precious time.
Listen.
3 hours.
Whoa, we're already getting a mic rant? Immediately?
Wow. 3 hours.
Why you gotta start off like this, though?
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. Okay, what?
No, you know what it is? I just want to have some little bit of positivity before we begin.
Nope, it's all bad.
You can't. Okay, bad. Positivity here is, saying hello to the chat.
Yes, of course.
Right?
We're gonna say hello to the chat.
Yeah, but you really you just started off hot, really hot.
Mace, T-bar,
and flapjack.
No, slapjack.
Slapjack,
not the
but
pancake.
We call them pancake. We're calling them pancakes.
Oh my God.
So wait, flapjack.
What?
Slapjack, right?
What?
Flapjack is the pancake. T-bar. I'm trying to equate something to that.
T-bar, at this point, if Rey Mysterio ever did legitimately lose an eye,
what's the other one?
Mace. The thing.
How about the Three Stooges? They should have just done that.
Well, what are they going to call? Well, here's my question. What are they going to call Mia Yim and fucking Mercedes Martinez? What are they going to call Liver Lips and I don't know. Liver Lips and Stupid Ass? What's going to be their names? Hey, let me tell you, Liver Lips.
What movie is that from again?
The Jerky Boys.
Yes. We have to watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Slap tits. Yeah.
We have to watch it again.
I know.
Hysterical movie.
Months.
The Three Stooges.
They've had months to come up with.
The Three Stooges.
This is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. This Raw.
Oh, I know what happened.
What?
So, somebody was really hungover.
No.
Yes. And creative.
No, somebody's on meth.
Somebody's
on meth.
Somebody was really hungover, and Vince turns to that person and is like, "You, give me the names." And that's what they came up with.
Slapjack.
And he was really, really drunk, and he was really he was sweating profusely, and he was like this, and he's like,
2020
and he was
has already
thinking about pancakes, and then he said slapjack.
2020 has already taken so much from us. It's now it's taking professional wrestling with it. Wrestling is a dumpster fire right now. I don't want to hear Japan. Don't give me Japan. Don't give me AEW.
What did I do?
I'm talking to just other people, not even you. Just
okay.
This is
sorry.
Trash. Horrible. I cannot believe. Right off the bat, I was wondering, what am I even doing with my life anymore?
What am I doing with my life?
Why am I still watching this? I'm 33. I'm moderately successful. I have a beautiful family. Why am I devoting any more time to this garbage?
I can't with you.
Well,
I really can't.
Where is the upside?
I'm
Where's the
dying
upside
inside. There's no upside, sweetheart. There's no upside.
All right. Before I get into this garbage,
I love it.
It's gonna be just one.
I love how we automatically have. This show is gonna bring tonight one giant mic rant. It's gonna just be the entire show. It's just gonna be you ranting.
This is right,
and it's actually, you're actually valid in doing so. So I'm not gonna lie in here and sit here and say
I would say for a good majority of the night, someone could make the case Mike, you're so hard on them. You're so hard on creative. You're so mean to them. Try defending T-Bar, Slapjack, whatever his friggin' name is, and Mace. Try defending that. Try defending them taking their hoods off. You can clearly see their entire faces except it's covered at the bottom. We're supposed to now just pretend, even though NXT is now just part of our regular viewing schedule. We're now supposed to pretend that Mia Yim with her blue hair, we've never seen her before. We've never seen Dominik Dijakovic. We're supposed to just pretend that they never existed.
Yes.
And now Dijakovic's T-Bar. Shane Thorne, who was a fucking nothing anyway, is now Slapjack, and Dio Madden.
It's Flapjack.
is Mace.
It's Flapjack.
I mean, Dijakovic.
I would have preferred Flapjack.
I mean, Dijakovic is the leader of the group. Like, you would think that maybe his name would be Mace. Like, that's the cooler name. T-Bar. T-Bar?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I think if Mace was in isolation, I would not be entirely disappointed with that. But T-Bar and Slapjack. Yeah, I actually would have preferred Flapjack, though.
I mean,
that would have been. I mean, it wouldn't have fit the theme of Retribution, but at least. But at least.
But I mean, like, even WWE's Twitter account was like making fun of the names. They go, did they just hit a flapjack on Slapjack? It's like, oh my god, like that was a dig. That was
totally a dig.
That was a dig. This, seriously, if you wasted portions of your life, at least I'm getting paid for this.
I'm not getting paid for this.
You're getting paid because my money's your money, baby. I at least have, straight up, I get paid to watch. If you watch this of your own volition in your free time and you're getting nothing in return other than watching me rant about it, I am, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of World Wrestling Entertainment, I am sorry. I'm sorry to you.
Wait, whoa. Don't say that, though, because we don't want anybody thinking we work for that.
No. I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be associated with that.
We want to be associated with any Slapjack and T-Bars.
No. Like T-Bar. What did somebody already ate off Oliver nipple? Like, what the hell happened? Bend over must have been taken. Like T-Bar and Slapjack.
Oh, that's what what's her face will be, Anita Dix.
Wow.
That's so creative, and Vince will be like, yeah, and we're like, whoa, no, Vince.
Bungholio. That's gonna be Mercedes Martinez. It's gonna be Bungholio.
Anita Dix and Bungholio.
That's it. Or slap tits, whatever. Like, it's like whatever. My God. Okay. Anyway.
Slap.
If you're in the chat room, say hello, because I want to say hello to you before I'm already sweating. I've already
I told you it's gonna be a long mic rant. This is the entire night. It's just gonna be a mic rant. That's all.
Wow. Number one, we're very close to 1,000 subscriptions. So if you have a friend who who just enjoys wrestling, I mean, after watching that show, you might not have any friends that enjoy wrestling anymore. But if you do, and they manage to maintain their love of professional wrestling, direct them to this channel and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're so close. I'm gonna have and hit the like button. Everybody in this chat room, if you're on YouTube right now watching us, hit the like button this instant, please.
I'm gonna have a really hard time, because I get made fun of at work for watching. They're gonna anybody who flips to the channels is gonna be like, "Really? This is what you watch?"
God, I hope on a weekly basis. I hope this is the podcast that they skipped today, because it's like I started off by going, "Fuck you." It's terrible. Anyway, okay, so Daniel Schell in the chat room tonight. He made sure to tune in for this. He's off the list. He's off the list. Frank McMahon goes slapjack that like button. Mr. V, hello, my friends. I did not watch Raw for the 25th week in a row. Seems like I did not miss much.
Wow, V, that's a great record.
Jealous of him.
I'm very jealous of that record.
Adeep Krishna Kilar, hello, guys. Hello, Adeep. Trevor Mishke, hello. I haven't watched Raw in several weeks, but I think our group found its Raw Halloween costumes tonight. I called dibs on T-Bar. Quentin Walters. Hi, Tedesco's. My name is Slapnuts. Nafis, our dear friend. 5 months here. It's the best life. He hasn't watched in 5 months. Dylan Lowe. Hello, Dylan. Freebird. Hello, guys. Also known as Det Morales here. Oh, Freebird is Det Morales now.
Nice.
Changed his name up a little bit. Mashoon Walls in the chat. Andrew Elder, our buddy in the chat. Let's see. Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy's in the chat room tonight. I'm scrolling through now. Randy Torcola is in the chat room. All right. And let's see.
Nobody's on the list so far.
Nobody's on the list so far. Everybody's turning out.
Oh, I know who's on the list.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon's on the list tonight. Good Lord.
For flapjacks.
God. Okay. So this is the shit that this company does every fucking fall. Like, this is it.
Hey, did I not call it?
You called it.
I did. I said it. I was like, I don't know about this. And they had a golden opportunity, and they sure proved themselves. They actually wanted to make They really want to make 2020 extra special with all this stupidity.
I mean, I think that they're on a mission right now just to prove how dumb their fan base is. Because, there are morons that will still pour their money into this company. There's no question about it. You know, they'll buy their stupid merchandise. They'll buy this and that.
I mean, I'll still buy merch, I guess.
I'll buy the merch, too. I guess I'm one of those morons. But the morons are becoming fewer and fewer. And watching this, you have to know. I'm not going to say that they're going to like they're going to be neck and neck. I'm not going to say Monday Night Raw is going to be neck and neck with AEW. I'm not going to say that because Monday Night Raw is going to consistently outdraw AEW. But AEW unopposed on Wednesday night, 2 weeks ago, did over 1 million viewers. And one of their main event matches did 1.2 million watching. Even if it was just for a few seconds, it's 1.2 million. Raw, just for comparison's sake, did I think about 1.6 or 1.7 million. They were like 500,000 off. I mean, that's not. I mean, this is a show. I just looked up what they were doing 2 years ago. I mean, yes, I get it. It's a pandemic, but you know what? Fuck it. Like the numbers were going down last year. Look at the numbers where they were at last year.
Well, that's the thing.
Exponentially dropped. It's not even like just like a little drop. It's like exponentially. It's like,
can't
okay, whatever we
blame
did, we're going to double
for
down.
everything. You just can't at this point. You can't use it as your crutch.
No.
And especially now, in fact, COVID should really motivate you more to make this product as good as it can be and trying. Clearly, again, I really think whoever made these names was completely hungover that day.
Right.
It was their turn to make up the names, and that was their job, and they failed miserably.
I mean, shit. like what the hell? Okay, so like I don't think they're gonna get to like, you know, I don't think they're gonna be neck and neck with AEW because NXT kind of cancels out like some of those those AEW
with those
viewers.
fans. Yeah,
if they're unopposed, it'd be, you know, I'm not gonna. Even then, they still wouldn't beat them. But WWE Raw is gonna do enough to itself to fucking take itself back.
Yeah,
I mean, we joke around that they seem to like, you know, like they phone it in every year, and yeah, to a certain extent they do, but they're not bombing. Like, it seems like they're actually trying to just fucking... Are they
trying to go bankrupt?
Like,
what the hell?
Kill the show. I don't understand.
I don't know what their angle is.
They have no long-term planning whatsoever. None.
Clearly
None.
Yes. They don't.
And you know what? I'm gonna stop fucking getting excited every time they do something like, you know, like at Payback, for example, where they just pulled out a good show out of their ass. You know what they did? They hot shot at a bunch of angles and they gave you a couple surprises. Whoop-de-doo. It meant nothing. All they do is just get your endorphins going just a little bit, just to kind of keep you going, but they don't hook you in to like want to continue watching. You know, we'll give you a cage match. We're gonna give you Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee last week. It didn't do shit because everybody's on to the game now. They're on to the game. They've already brought back every single legend that you could possibly bring back. So that's over. That's dead. Am I right? Like who the hell, who's out there?
Nobody else out there. And especially since you're not every, I mean, yeah, most legends, not every legend though. Certain legends will not come back, especially during this time. You know?
No, but I'm just saying,
but
like
in general,
like the crutches that they've relied on.
They have no crutches. They have no crutches at this point. And they need to really sit and reevaluate what's going on, because there's not even like when the Viking Raiders were going through their name change, you know, throughout the weeks, you know, when they first kind of came about. However, though, they did bounce back from it pretty quickly, and in some aspects of that. But this is like nobody's gonna forget it because it's just so horrible.
This Raw was right up there with Dean Ambrose getting the vaccine in his ass at the veterinarian's office. That Raw was the worst Raw I've ever watched. It's actually worse, but this is right here.
Well, because again, you don't have anything to base this off of. But the only thing that I will say is this: is that people are going to negatively react, and there's no turning back now. Now they're committed to these damn names and to this damn angle. Now they're committed. They really, really botched everything about this.
Everything from the get-go.
The opening segment tonight to, again, their interactions throughout the entire evening to that names.
No long-term planning whatsoever.
No.
They hot-shotted weeks of angles. They could have into one line by Tom Phillips.
What's sick?
Okay, this is how they start off the show. It's like you could have spent weeks with like Adam Pearce and like they're them threatening him like why there was no explanation whatsoever to them just automatically coming out and the announcers just go, oh well, they've signed contracts, so now they're members of the roster, so they're no longer a vigilante team. Like, where did that come from?
I don't know.
Why? And why couldn't we see it? And why is there no story behind it? It's just like, we booked ourselves in a corner, so we're just gonna jump to the next part.
No, there really was no plan in place. Everything this screamed last minute. Everything about this screamed last minute.
Yes, because there's no fucking long-term planning. And they do this every year. Like I was saying, they hot shot everything. They give you a cage match last week, and they give you this and that, and it means nothing. Okay, so but getting back, they've leaned on the legends. That was their original crutch.
Yeah.
To get to pop ratings, and the last time that really worked was Raw Reunion, and that was down 1 million from the people who watched Raw 25.
Yeah.
Raw 25 did 4 million. Raw Reunion only did 3. And there was no pandemic going on at that time.
No,
Just you've seen the legends, you see them come back. They don't do anything great with the legends, so it's like, okay, well,
they're there for like 2 seconds.
It's just nostalgic junk, and it's like it means nothing. So just like I'll skip that and just catch the highlights on YouTube, and what does that really do?
You don't have to watch. You don't have to watch the show in order, because they don't bring anything to the stories, like you said.
We don't have any legends that can wrestle anymore. Like The Rock is not going to ever come back and wrestle in WWE again. I think The Rock's days in the ring are over. Sting is done. Goldberg, he already used up his 2 matches this year, so he's not going to wrestle. Lesnar's not coming back until there's a crowd, because there's no reason to pay that guy a couple million to come back in front of nobody.
No, and he won't even come in too.
Nothing, so that crutch is over. So now all they can do is try to just use this roster that they have abused, that they haven't put over, that they haven't protected, and like who have they protected? Just Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Like those are the ones that get protected. Like if you're up there, you're gonna get protected, but there's not many of them.
There's not many of them get protected.
And
even the guys who are up there are fair. Not all of them are getting protected.
Like you would think Bray Wyatt would be somebody who would be protected. The guy is not protected. He's been exposed. His ass has been out in the wind.
Even somebody like Seth Rollins, I hate to say it, is not really protected.
Seth Rollins is a fucking disaster right now. This storyline with him is a fucking.
But he's somebody who's one
disaster.
of your top guys, and he's not getting protected either. So it's really just Reigns and McIntyre at this point.
It's just like they have no like big matches. They've given you Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre twice for free, and they brought Keith Lee up, and the guy should be special. They should have brought him up, and he should be doing the fucking fat guy flips and all that stuff to kind of introduce himself to a larger audience. Instead, he's just doing the slow lumbering power moves, the Vince McMahon style that had nothing to do with getting Keith Lee over in the first place. He's going against every thing that made him interesting and special. Now he's just a fat guy in fucking Spanx. Like there's nothing to him. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, he got one win over Randy Orton, and the rest of the time he's been fucking beaten and left for dead. Like, there's nothing there. So fuck him. He's done. That's over. Like why'd you take him off of NXT? Like, for what fucking reason? You're hot shotting 2 matches in a row with Drew McIntyre. That shit. Like, if you treated Keith Lee right, that's like a fucking feature pay-per-view match.
Yeah, well, they're not going to.
They don't know what they're doing anymore.
They proved yet again that they can make something with so much potential and just ruin it in 2 seconds.
I've seen so many people come up through the years that have no fucking business getting pushes, and they push them to the moon. They have no fucking ability, and we you just have to deal with it.
That's the sad part about it.
But like people with like actual, but people who actually have like a chance that understand the genre better than fucking 75-year-old Vince McMahon does at this point. You know, like, and I'm sick and tired of seeing all these fucking podcasts of these douchebags going on, like Corey Graves' podcast. Like, I get it, one of them was Shane himself, his son. So what's he gonna say about his father? But like all these people that go out there, like on these WWE podcasts, are like, oh, Vince is so smart. Vince is this. He's never wrong. He's this and that. It's like they're fucking using this platform to try to, you know, fight back at the notion that he's senile. I'm not saying he's fucking senile, but he's lost a ton of steps. It's just he's out to lunch.
I mean,
on the creative
though,
side, the guy should just be running the company. He just put him out there as the fucking figurehead and let other people deal with the storylines. He's a figurehead at this point, a figurehead that just gives the stockholders just a little feeling of like, okay, well, this company's not a complete shit show because you know, Vince McMahon, who invented professional wrestling, is at the helm. Meanwhile, they've completely rewritten history, and you know, like they present him as if he like invented this genre. Yeah, he invented it as it is today, but he by no means is Vince McMahon like the only one who can run a professional wrestling company. But that's how they painted it. So when Vince fucking retires, if he ever does, and he never will, but eventually he's 75 years old. I mean, we have to start thinking about the future. Yeah. You know, God forbid. God forbid. I mean, that's against everything in my being. I am not saying at all that I want Vince McMahon to die. I never ever wish. And I love Vince McMahon for everything he you know, all the entertainment that he's given me in my entire life. You know, I get to do this really cool thing because Vince McMahon made this platform. I love Vince McMahon for that. I do. I don't know him, but I love and respect and appreciate him. But it's time to fucking let it go. It's time to let it go. Other people can run this. You have to give them a chance because this is not fucking working. You know, and I feel for Bruce. I feel for Bruce Pritchard. You know, it's not easy having to write fucking 5 hours, and this week he has to write it's 8 hours of professional wrestling.
But there's a big but though when it comes to him.
But he's a fucking kiss ass.
He's a kiss ass.
He won't go back at Vince. Vince is just
nobody
put
does.
People around him
if you
that'll
really
just agree with it. Like, look what he's doing to his company. Doesn't he see everything that he's tried?
No.
Doesn't he see that there's diminished returns on everything?
Think about
I can't even imagine walking into the negotiations with Fox and NBC Universal again.
Think about
after the fucking numbers that they've put up.
Think about what
can't even
think about what you just said before.
The balls
right?
on them to ask
when all these superstars go on podcasts, right? And you said they're talking about how smart Vince
on
is
WWE sponsored podcasts.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you have a complete moron like Eric Young, who's just absolute dirt. For Impact to even put him as their world champion just shows how fucking short-sighted they are. They think they're sticking to Vince McMahon. They stuck it to themselves because Vince was right about Eric Young. Just saying. Go on. Sorry.
No, what I'm saying is, though, even though WWE sponsor podcasts, what realistically, though, that's their boss at the end of the day. What are they really going to say? No one's going to go back at him. So, yes, every podcast you hear in regards to WWE podcasts and talking about Vince, every superstar is going to say he's the greatest guy of all time. Nobody is going to be honest and real on these podcasts when it comes to their boss.
No,
everybody's going to want to kiss their boss's ass. That's what it comes down to. And Vince knows that, too. He knows what his position is. And he knows that he is the ability to give and he has the ability to take away just as quickly. So no one's going to do that. No one can really ever step up to him, even his own children. Even Stephanie and Shane, they can't step up to him and say to him.
I think they're just.
I think they're waiting for him to retire on his own, which I think they know, whatever. Or again, God forbid, until he passes away.
I think Shane did the right thing in 2009 when he walked away from this company, when he saw that he was never going to be able to fucking spread his wings and do what he wants.
Right.
When he realized that Vince was digging down and in it for the long haul, and he's like, I gotta go and be my own man. He should have just stayed out. I mean, he has no role in this company other than just being
really.
raw underground. He does some producing, but he's not like a featured player.
Stephanie is more of a feature, but he doesn't. But he doesn't let Stephanie control as much either.
No,
and say what you want about. I mean, again, but it's not like they don't have the creative thoughts, though, because even again, we always talk about Triple H with NXT.
I'm not even convinced that Triple H can be a savior.
I'm saying in terms of like think about what he's done with NXT. The great things that he's done with NXT.
Yes.
They don't allow anybody to hold the reins fully. Paul Heyman, even though Paul Heyman's very bright with wrestling, they didn't let him do anything either.
But look what Paul Heyman's doing now. Roman Reigns is manager, and Paul Heyman's controlling all that whole entire storyline. Why is SmackDown so good? Because of the Roman Reigns thing.
Because
like
when Heyman has control,
they never let
Paul
Heyman. No. They never let Paul Heyman be Paul Heyman.
No, they don't. But that's
they let him in 2003 for whatever reason. Vince just never cared about fucking SmackDown. They let Paul Heyman be Paul Heyman, and granted, yes, Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman sometimes is very bad.
Lashley and Lana, yeah.
Lashley and Lana. That just seemed like something that he wrote for Vince that he thought that Vince would really like, and they went with it. But like Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman sometimes isn't good.
Right, but most of the time it is. And
but I mean, everything that he tried to start on this show, you know, he tried to push Andrade, he tried to push Humberto Carrillo, tried to push Cedric Alexander, he tried to push.
They never allowed him
tried to push Rusev. They fucking crushed them. Aleister Black was put over for a year. Now look at him.
I think that honestly, replacing Pritchard with Heyman with Pritchard was just a big mistake. I think they really should have just allowed.
I think it's again. I think it's a big mistake to put Bruce Pritchard there. I think it's a big mistake to put Paul Heyman there. If you're not going to actually let them actually do what they want to do, Vince. I keep saying it. He every now and then on those stupid conference calls, he has a moment of lucidity where every couple of years he'll tell one kernel of truth. And the fact when he said, "I need to get out of the weeds," that was the most honest fucking thing Vince McMahon has said on one of those calls. He won't
do it though.
And I think he meant it. I think he knows it needs to happen. I can't wait for October. I can't wait for this call.
It's dangling the carrot though. So for him, he says it, he acknowledges it, he recognizes the fact that he needs to let other people take control, but he's the type of person, he can't help himself.
No.
He just can't. So he's sitting there. This is how I imagine the company when they run most of their writing sessions. I imagine that they... No, I'm
what
being...
writing sessions?
No.
7 o'clock, we got to get the show done.
No, I'm being serious. This is
I'm
how
serious. That's how it is.
No, but this is how I imagine...
Go ahead.
I think most of the time people do have maybe like long-term plans and whatever they're writing. I think they have some idea coming into mind, but I think this is what winds up happening. I think once you explain everything to Vince, right? Then he just changes every single thing and nitpicks and does this and says, no, you should do this, you should do that, blah, 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 blah. So I think there's probably some individuals who have a long picture in mind, who want to write for, and whatever. But then Vince comes in and he's like, no, I don't like that. Or no, I want to do this. He has to have the last word.
I know.
And if you're not smart with him and let him think that it's his idea, it's not going to get executed properly.
It's a sick, twisted
You have to manipulate him into thinking that, you have to lure him into thinking that it was his idea. That's what you have to do at this point. But they don't know how to do that. They rather, because all he does is he comes in, he's that boss that comes in and he's like, no, this is what we're going to do. And he sets the record straight. So he can pretend all he wants and he tries, but he can't help himself. He can't. You can't change the tiger stripes over. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
There's this, I mean, how old is he now? Again?
75.
75 years old.
75.
You're not gonna. He's stubborn and he's on his own ways.
On the pulse.
And I'm not saying whatever. He's looks very good for his age, and he's in great shape. You know what I mean? But I will say this though, naturally as you get older, not senile, not dementia. I'm not saying that, but you become very stubborn. Right. You think you know all.
Yeah.
And that's what his complex is. No, I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't need your help in that aspect.
But you know what? It reminds me. Okay, like on a personal. It reminds me of like my grandmother. Like we're trying to move her out of her house right now. Like because she's old and she's living by herself. She's 86 years old. You know, it's like it's like Graham. We got to get you going here, and no matter what you tell her,
yeah,
you know, it's all going wrong right now. You know, like you know, she's got to just get out of the weeds, right?
Yeah.
She'll until her dying, she'll be right about everything. You know, and like you just have, but somebody has to move in there and just say, no, this is how it has to be done. And it's not going to be anybody in that company.
No.
But it very well could be shareholders,
Network?
people asking questions, the networks and stuff like that. You know, like something's got to give here.
I don't know what Fox is going to do.
Something's
I don't know
got to give.
how long they'll continue.
And Brian makes a good point here. Brian says, you know, you can't put it all on Vince. These writers are shit.
Because they rotate the writers.
They rotate the writer. No writer stays long enough to even really dig in their heels and make an impact.
Most employees don't stay long there.
But I will say this in defense of the writers, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. You know, in defense of these people, they're writing for the audience of one, and that's just that in and of itself is everything that's wrong with this show. They're not writing for, you know, the overall audience and what will our fans truly enjoy. You know, when they write for what the fans truly enjoy, they just hotshot a bunch of stuff just to get the fans interested in and to just pop a rating. They do that almost every month or every other month. We have a themed Raw where they just pop shit, and then, you know, they pop that one rating so they can say to the networks, look, people are still watching, see? Like, it's a joke. And people are catching on. I'm telling you, people are catching on. It's not just we're not making this fucking up. We're not making it up. I can't even tell you how many negative articles were out there by legitimate publications that follow stocks. And it wasn't like they were just like, oh, well, you know, I don't like the way they use Dabba-Kato on this show. It was like, no, like the metrics. Here's the fucking layout. Here's the year to year. Here's the side by side. Here are some graphs. Like, it was legitimate research done that this company is failing in terms of connecting with any type of audience. And when you watch this piece of shit that they presented, this steaming pile of shit that they presented tonight, it's no fucking wonder why. It's no wonder why. I mean, the one thing that they even did tonight that was even remote, like that was even good, was for once it was Raw Underground. Raw Underground was really good. I loved the Dolph Ziggler Arturo Ruas match. You know, it felt good. Like, it just felt right. You know, Ziggler and Ruas, like Ziggler is a legitimately great amateur wrestler, and he was stretching this guy out. Ruas is a legit. I think he's Muay Thai. Whatever it is, but they seemed to be going at it, laying off on each other, but they were going at it hold for hold, and Ziggler kind of knocked him out, and like it looked like a legit finish. I was like, God, that was actually pretty good. Eric of the Viking Raiders and Riddick Moss, like, it wasn't as good as Ziggler Ruas, but it was there, and I was like, geez, like, I can't wait for Strowman and Dabba-Kato, and it was bullshit. It was so unconvincing, so lame. Like even the stuff that like they kind of build well has just a shit disappointing ending.
Yeah.
Like, for at least a little while, Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio was good, and then they tacked on the fucking eye for an eye stipulation, and it's never been the same. And it should be over. It should be fucking over. How many times does Rollins have to beat them? He's beaten Dominic 15 times. He's beaten tonight, Ray 15 times.
Everything that happened with the segments tonight was absolute
Rollins
shit show.
has never lost. He's never laid down for Rey Mysterio or Dominic. He's never lost. And last week would have been the perfect time to lose. And like, if you're going to keep the storyline going, he should have lost by all rights. He had everything go wrong in that match, and they still had him. They still put him over because, well, we can't put Dominic over him because, God forbid, we try to even remotely come close to building a star with and give him any type of credibility. God forbid. No, double stomp. You're fucked, Dominic. Get the fuck out of the ring, you piece of trash. Now we're going for fucking Aaliyah and Ray's daughter Aaliyah and Murphy as a fucking Romeo and Juliet tale. Go fuck yourself. I don't need to see that. Rehashing the Eddie fucking Guerrero Dominic DNA storyline. Give me a fucking break. Get real.
Not in the
like,
Maury
what are we
show.
doing?
We're not in the Maury
what
show
are we
here.
doing? That was from 2005. Let sleeping dogs lie. Just let it fucking go.
First of all, it's trashy now. Like, it's
it's always been trash. Wrestling is fun because it has that little aspect of like trash to it. But I mean, this is just beyond. It's just like trash, like as in like that, like, you know, kind of like Taboo, Jerry Springer, Maury show trash. That's always been part of the appeal of wrestling. But it's not that kind of trash. It's just literally trash that fucking should go out with Liliana's diaper bag. That's where it belongs. Horrible. There's nothing good. Nothing good on Raw. SmackDown, very, very fucking good. SmackDown is, it's almost like, how can it be the same company? NXT, we joke about it. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, well, they're just there to kind of upset AEW, and in a very real sense, that is the truth. But, you know, the show is at least coherent most of the time. It's like, you know, at least you see where they're going with things. Usually, there seems to be some sort of planning. Like there's no planning for the next couple of NXTs just because they just randomly booked a takeover and they had nothing planned for it. So it's like, okay, we have Battle Royal and some gauntlet match gimmick. But usually they like you can see months out, you know, where they're going for this, for not just the upcoming takeover, but the takeover after that. You can see where everything's going. There's some sort of long-term storyline planning there. Here, it's just like, 6 o'clock. Can we get the script approved? All right. Well, I don't like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. Well, fuck. Well, fuck. Now what are we going to do?
That's what I'm saying. He micromanages. He has to get himself involved. He can pretend all he wants that he doesn't want it. I think he knows he has to, but he can't help himself. Right. At the end of the day, it's Vince McMahon, and he's going to lay the hammer, and the show's going to be the way it is.
And it's going to be Mace, T-Bar, and fucking Slapjack. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? I mean, okay, so might as well just get into the Raw review.
Yeah, and we'll do it fairly quickly because
there's nothing to say. It's horrible. This is shit. Kicks off. I already told you they hot-shotted weeks. I mean, at least they could have made it at least interesting. Like you can do a couple segments.
There were a ton of things that you could do.
You could establish Adam Pearce as an actual authority figure, where he, you know, okay, I'm going to try to sign these guys and see if we can change the focus of Retribution. Maybe if I sign them to contracts, that'll be what does it. You know, gets them on board. Like we could have at least had a night of storylines like that with Adam Pearce trying to find Retribution, getting them to sign contracts, and then they still turn on him. No, instead they just sign contracts on their off time, and, you know, even though they already had contracts, because we know that it's Dominic Dijakovic, we know it's Dio Mad, we know it's Mia Yim. They were fucking gainfully employed a couple of weeks ago when they were on NXT. Like, what the, like, why do they have, I mean, like, why do they have to at least just, I mean, I get it. Most of the wrestling fans are, you know, that follow this and enjoy it, or there's something wrong sometimes. Like, there's just a screw loose there, but you don't have to treat like the entire fan base as if they're, like, you have to fucking pick up their drool after them. Like these, like, we're capable of completing a thought and recognizing things and maybe following something more than just the bouncing ball here.
But it's left me
But confused. They insult your intelligence always.
They do.
Always. That's always their go-to.
This opening segment left me confused because of the statements that were being made, you know, and about how, we signed contracts. It's like, well, when did you sign contracts? There was a lot.
Where's the video?
There was a lot more questions and answers coming out of it, and it's like, there needs to be some sort of, you know, like, aha moment, like, oh, okay, this is what you're doing.
There should at least be some direction in the previous week's storyline that said, like, okay, well, we're going to try to get them signed. Nothing.
My question for you,
no hint, no foreshadowing, nothing. It's just they're signed. Okay.
And my question is for you, don't you find there's too many people in Retribution?
Way too many. Where the fuck did all those other 15 people come from? They had 5 that they concentrate on, then the 15 losers that come out.
And I find
and why do they all have the same attire as Akira Tozawa's ninjas?
I don't.
Why do they look like the ninjas?
I don't know why they look like the ninjas, but I think it's ridiculous because it's like, really, that many people are upset. They want their retribution. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, who are these other people? And like you said, the people that they focused on, it's like, what issues are you really having with the company? Because you've been really wrestling, like, for a while. You didn't have anything where you were furloughed or not here. You were fired. What retribution are you? What are you trying to actually? What's your cause? What's your purpose?
No clue.
I'm not seeing any of that. And they really had, because there was no reveal until obviously tonight, really like a true reveal. And it's like,
well, there was no reveal either. It was like, but
because nobody really knows who these people are.
Frank's trying to make he's trying to give a college, the old college try to like defend it. He's saying a majority of people watch Raw, don't watch NXT. That's true. But there are still some people that watch NXT, and it's like, you don't have to fucking beat everybody over the head. Do a fucking video package. Why couldn't Dominik Dijakovic come up to Raw as Dominik Dijakovic? Like everybody knows him. Instead, no. So even though NXT is going to appear on Survivor Series, and we're going to have to treat it like an equal brand for a month. Other than that, it exists in the ether, and it doesn't matter. It means nothing. So again, how is that a ringing endorsement to watch the show? And now if it was on the network, who gives a shit, right? But USA Network is paying something to have NXT on their channel. It's out there for people to see. If it means nothing and like people, whatever you did on that show means absolutely zero, like what's the point of even fucking watching? And now not a lot of people watch to begin with, because it's like, they're going against AEW, but like it's counterintuitive to what you're trying to do as a company. It's counterintuitive. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense at all. It really, really doesn't. It's quite a shame, actually.
And Mia Yim is Keith Lee's girlfriend, and that's established. And they even I believe she was even on Raw. I believe she was. I think she was on Raw on his first night when I think she made an appearance.
Wait, are they actually boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yes, they actually.
Okay. I thought for a minute it was an NXT thing, but I was like, oh, I don't remember that.
It's like, give me a break. And they're heels. The Hurt Business are heels. The Hurt Business is feuding with Retribution, heel versus heel. Like that's not exactly the most ringing way to bring them in.
I know Retribution is supposed to be
heel, and these promos.
But I feel like they're supposed to be like these vigilantes that way. I almost thought they were like,
well, they're supposed to be vigilantes, but now they're signed vigilantes, so they're no longer vigilantes. They're just employees. And it's like, oh well, now that they're signed, they can do whatever they want. Really? How? Like nobody else does that. Like why is it allowed for them?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to just
what was in their contracts? And if
it's a great contract, I want somebody to write that for me. And if in
their contract it's just you can do whatever you want, why the fuck are they so angry?
I don't know.
Makes no sense. There's like the whole backstory.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say before. There's no purpose.
Even announcing that they signed makes no fucking sense for what they exist for. They exist because they weren't signed and they were left out, and now they're just signed. So it's okay. Well, that's that.
And weren't you signed?
So that whole aspect is gone.
Weren't you only signed? Maybe those 15 other people that you're with weren't signed. Those 15 other people seem like just random strangers off the street at this point. It's like, what are you actually doing with that? And I almost wonder, like, were these people initially the thought in mind? I don't think they were. I really don't. I think they just randomly picked, oh, you know what? Let's just pick these 5 people to, like, represent this whole, group of individuals.
I mean, this was just horrible. I mean, we knew Retribution was bad right from the fucking time they were like, oh, a new faction is going to debut, when they were scrambling to get people excited about watching Raw again, right after the Vince McMahon conference call where he was like, oh, well, we're having trouble getting Raw to seem youthful. Like they said, okay, well, Shane McMahon's coming back. Like Shane McMahon, here's another legend that we're going to try to bring back to produce some interest. And a new faction is going to debut. Ooh, and then all of a sudden this new faction debuts mysteriously, and the lights flicker because they threw a Molotov cocktail at a fucking power generator, and the lights only flickered. Wow, what damage they caused. They're midgets, like they're so small. Most like at the beginning before they brought Dijakovic in, like. What the hell? Like it was botched from the get go.
It was botched.
It was just completely botched from the get-go.
Listen, I liked the idea of it. In the sense of if it really came out to be a retribution again for those who were released or those who were like kind of furloughed, you know what I mean? But for people who actually actively work in the company and wrestle like pretty much on a weekly basis, regardless of you watch NXT or not, stupid.
Horrible.
Because then if somebody does on the off chance say like, wait, these people are on NXT, then they're going to look and be like, what is your problem then?
Right.
You actually have a job. You're getting paid. Right. What are you trying to fight?
Take the stupid mask off. You can just see where this is going already. You can see where it's going. They're going to be fucking jobbed out when Vince gets tired of, the diminished returns, and just they're going to go by the wayside. 5 fucking talents that'll just be squandered. Hayden Barker. Hello, Hayden Barker. All right. How about this? You talk about just going in the infinite circle. Like nothing ever changes. The same shit we've been seeing since the beginning of the year. Andrade and Angel Garza are the number 1 fucking contenders again for the Raw Tag Team titles. The Street Profits have faced 2 fucking teams this year. Andrade and Angel Garza and the Viking Raiders. That's it. They've done nothing else. Maybe they had a defense against some random ass team every now and then, but very rare. It's literally just been Angel Garza and Andrade.
Consistently, yeah.
And think about this. If Andrade didn't get injured heading into WrestleMania, that would have been the WrestleMania tag team match. And then at SummerSlam, it was a tag team match. Now, again, we're getting at the Clash of Champions. And on top of that, they face each other every fucking week on Raw. Like, they had Dominic Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo out there.
Much.
That was random, and it was stupid, and it's like, I'm not a belt mark. I'm really not, and I know that 24/7 title rant that I went on made me seem like I am, but I'm really not. But at the end of the day, you're tuning in for the simulated, drama, the reality show, the soap opera aspects of it, and the kind of pseudo sports thing that's attached to it as well. And the championships, yes, they are just props, and they, it's almost like incredible to think that Bret Hart was willing to fucking kill himself rather than lose to Shawn Michaels in Canada because the title was so important then to him. It was just a prop. It's a prop. But I mean, when you don't have characters that connect with the general audience and no one's really excited about these people, the one thing you could always fall back on was the title's still really important, and title matches, people tune into them. Well, they have 17 fucking titles on this show now. It's every match is a title match, so there's really no, so they've completely forgotten how to book an actual feud that people would want to see, that doesn't involve the title. So they have there's no personal rivalries anymore. Everything's just for the belt, but then they don't protect the belts, and the champions always lose. And the fucking tag team titles, it's just an infinite loop. But then you have Seth Rollins and Murphy there, and they're in a number 1 contenders match, and Seth Rollins, he should, he wants to be the best. He always portrays himself as the best. They sometimes make comments on commentary that say oh well, there's a lot of money to, in being the champion. Why? Why would you diminish the title? I mean, yes, the tag team titles mean nothing, but it's the overall epidemic in this company to not protect anything. Seth Rollins just walks out just like it's a total joke, just to play mind games with Murphy. Gives up, all this money. Granted, I guess we're supposed to believe that Seth Rollins is a very rich man, and and I'm sure he is. But to give up, a title opportunity just to play fucking games, how low does that make the title seem? How low?
Exactly. Everything you said was just right on the money with that. There's so many flaws, and
there's no logic.
There's no.
I mean, I'm not asking for total logic, but at least a little.
A little bit would be nice. A little, just a tiny bit.
And at least you have Dominic and Humberto Carrillo there. Yeah, it's random, and again, if we're supposed to take the belt seriously, some random ass tag team getting even a sniffing around a number 1 contendership shot, that's ridiculous and absurd to the most basic person. But I would have rather preferred that than Andrade and Garza again.
Yeah.
Seriously,
no,
again.
I know what you mean. I would have rather preferred the randomness versus the, not gonna say familiar. I'm gonna say
old hat.
Yeah.
Come on. KO show, like Kevin Owens, he went from being one of the hotter talents last year, now he's bogged down in some bullshit, boring ass rivalry with Aleister Black, who wears an eye patch, but then when he wrestles, he doesn't wear the eye patch anymore. How the fuck does that make any sense? What are we doing here?
Continuity, logic out the window.
Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre. Second week in a row. Again, like I said,
and you said before,
should be protected.
It's not.
And they did nothing in this match that would make you even think that, that Keith Lee is a main eventer. Or should even be sniffing around the main event. Keith Lee, other than that win against Randy Orton, has done nothing. Every match, he's been left for dead. You know, he was getting ready to fucking lose to Drew McIntyre last week on Raw, and then Retribution saved him. He was facing Randy Orton in his first night on Raw. He gets hit with or he's getting ready to lose. He just got the draping DDT and Orton was sizing him up to hit an RKO, and then Drew McIntyre hit Orton with he just attacked Orton. And then the next time they fought on Raw, like you would think like, okay, well maybe Keith Lee will get 2 wins over Orton. That'd be amazing. But no, instead Keith Lee actually takes an RKO and is absolutely going to lose, or at least it's portrayed like he's going to lose. Like we'll never know if he would have kicked out, but he was made to look like he was going to fucking lose. And then Drew McIntyre saved him again. His one win that he has on Raw, his one legitimate win was against Dolph Ziggler, and then later in the night he was in a triple threat match where he lost. He's done nothing but lose, and it's like, okay, we're gonna hang our hat on that one fucking win against Randy Orton. They don't really mention that anymore, and it's like, that was weeks ago.
It's forgotten about now.
That was weeks ago.
It's forgotten about.
Like,
most people don't even like really remember.
It meant nothing. It was made to look like they're. It was just like, okay, well look, we're doing something. We let him win over Randy Orton. It means nothing. Randy Orton's the number one contender. Keith Lee's just a fucking fat guy in a stretch shirt.
He's a pawn. Yeah, exactly.
He's nothing.
Kind of like a
like they took away everything that kind of gives him his character, his music. Honestly, God, I'm not even kidding. You're gonna think that it's just me being fucking negative right now. I swear, I didn't realize that Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee were gonna be at the 9:00 hour, and I was looking down. I was doing something. I was on my phone. I might have been doing nanograms, or I might have been playing with the baby for a second. But I just heard this music in the background, and I was like, who fucking is that? That's a fucking horrible theme song. Like, it sounds like a complete jobber. I was like, who's music they changed? And then I looked up as Keith Lee. I was like, oh, great. Like, and he's the whole outfit, the look, like it's just he's a total nothing burger now. A total nothing burger. Like, wow. Like that. Why did you move him off NXT? Especially when Karrion Kross went down with the shoulder injury. And then you take Keith Lee off. Karrion Kross is supposed to be carrying them, no pun intended, into the fucking fall, into their next takeovers and stuff like that. And then they had to reset all their plans. And then they lost Keith Lee. It's like, why did you take Keith Lee off that show? Especially when they definitely needed him. It means nothing to have him on Raw. It means nothing to Lee. It would have meant something to NXT to keep him on, to even hold it over. Remember when they brought up Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and then I forget, something happened. I think it was either Ciampa got injured, and then they just sent Johnny Gargano back to NXT rather than have him languish on Raw. Yeah. And it wound up being the best thing for the both of them. Mm-hmm. They should have just sent Lee. They never should have called him up as soon as they found out that Karrion Kross was injured, because they need star power on that show. And I'm sorry, 38-year-old Finn Balor is not enough to get me fucking interested. But Keith Lee, as Keith Lee should be, gets me excited. Keith Lee should be doing Keith Lee things on Raw. And I get it. Like, it's like I rally against the fucking flips all the time, but he should at least look like he isn't just like a lumbering fat dude, which is how they book him to be. He doesn't have to do a suicide dive. He doesn't have to do the cannonball out of the ring, but he could at least move like he has like some kind of urgency to him. He's like a shorter Big Show right now. Like, come on. He got main rostered. That's what he got. He got to get the main roster treatment. I'm sorry. Do you want to say something about Lee?
No.
But and the only good thing was after, so Randy Orton hits McIntyre with the RKO, or no, he hits him with the chair, and then and the best part is he punted Keith Lee after. So Keith Lee got hit with a Claymore kick tonight, and then he got punted. Yeah. What a fucking night for him. Totally out of the picture now.
Totally out of the picture.
And if he comes in on Sunday and has anything, it's like, come on, bullshit. Like, oh, I'm supposed to be excited about Keith Lee because he interfered in the match. Woohoo. Who cares? The promo by Orton was really well done, though, after.
It was.
That was, the best thing on the show. Second best thing was Ziggler versus Arturo Ruas. That's where the show was.
Yeah.
That's where the show was. Yeah. Incredible.
There's nothing else really worth... I have to be honest with you. Things happened tonight, but there wasn't really else worth mentioning, in terms of, excitement. I feel like it's just all negativity.
It is. Zelina Vega versus Mickie James was it was like they were wrestling underwater. Horrible.
They really are terrible together.
Apollo Crews goes to Cedric Alexander. First of all, Cedric Alexander is facing Retribution tonight. So what he's doing facing Apollo Crews before facing Retribution, and supposedly especially because Adam Pearce is like he tweeted out, like he was tweeting during the night saying like, oh, thank you, Hurt Business, doing this. Like, why would Adam Pearce book Cedric Alexander to face Apollo Crews right before he's supposed to take on Retribution, which has been the thorn in Adam Pearce's side? It makes no fucking sense. No sense at all. But anyway, so Alexander says about Apollo Crews, and Cedric Alexander's been on fire lately.
Yes, he has been.
Been on fire. The heel turn really worked wonders for him. He did a great job. They've done a great job with that. He's done a great job.
And he deserves that opportunity.
Apollo Crews comes out and goes, what did he say? He goes, I don't care that you don't care about my kids. All I care about now is punching you in the face. That's why they don't have any faces, because they say corny ass shit like that. Are you kidding me?
You can't get over like that. I think in general it's always been harder to get. I think it's always harder to get over as a face. I do. I think being a heel is a lot easier. Just because there's kind of a magic formula to being a heel, at least a little bit. You could be the cowardly heel. You could be, just like the honest heel. You could be the brutal heel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the really insensitive, insults, doesn't care type thing. But a face is most definitely harder to play.
Absolutely.
If you're not connected to your character.
If you're not connected to your character and you're getting handicapped with horrible fucking language that's not even your language,
then it's
you don't feel it. You don't feel it.
I would much rather be a heel in the company than a face.
It's brutal. It's really, really brutal. And then of course at the end Apollo Crews beats him, and Apollo Crews is randomly getting a U.S. title shot for no reason. Even though they said that the automatic rematch is done, he's getting the automatic rematch because we're fucking stupid and we keep watching the show. We're fucking idiots. Ha 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 ha. Laugh at us. That's what it is. Raw Underground was awesome. Oh, and then we get to the main event with Seth Rollins and the Mysterio family and Maury and Jerry Springer and the whole fucking thing, and Eddie Guerrero's the dad again, and Aaliyah is mad because Rey Mysterio said that she's naive, and then of course she proved him right by walking away because she's naive. This was shit. Why the fuck is this thing still going on?
I don't know. I think it's honestly, it should have ended weeks ago.
Should have ended when he took his eye out.
Yeah, really. But it's for whatever reason. Again, they just want to keep it going. I think because
they have no other ideas.
I think they think that some people enjoy it, so they're like, oh, let's just do it, and they think it's kind of like.
It's like Dominic's great. Dominic has done great at everything he's been asked to do, but it's time for him to move on, or he's going to be irreparably damaged because he's never going to fucking win. He's never going to be given any credibility here.
Again, there needs to be some sort of protection, and there's just not for individuals that they don't really care about. You got to be like the top dog in order for literally them to care about you, in order to protect you.
Right.
They don't care about losses and wins at this point. To them, if they just have like a story, for whatever. But the story is stupid. It's dumb. It's over. It's overplayed now. Like,
there's no story.
I don't know how you come back from, like, again, somebody gouging your eye out. Apparently,
nobody. No, you
don't.
You don't come back from it. And even like the things that they do right, they always fuck it up. Like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler was like the odd couple tag team. They've been given a grand total of 3 minutes of build in 2 weeks. 3 minutes combined. 2 short matches against Natalya and Lana. And all it's there for is just for them to put Lana through the table so the fucking internet idiots can be like, oh, well, they're punishing Lana.
They're not punishing Lana.
Not punishing Lana.
They're not punishing her.
It's just stupid. It's bad. They have nothing.
I'm going to do an overall kind of like quick thing on the women real quick. It is so disheartening to see what is going on with this division.
Right.
For me, we're taking so many steps back.
Right. And everybody complains about what AEW is doing with the women. Look what they're doing with the women on WWE right now. It's just as shitty.
We're not completely in like the, in like the, I don't know, what would you say how bad it was? I would say
the Divas division was the worst.
Yeah,
2010,
2010, 2008, right? Like that whole thing. I would say that was kind of the worst time. We're not to that level, definitely, but because there's definitely a lot more talent now. But we are very much like, we do not care right now. That's not really our main priority. I mean, you would think from the rest of the show that you would, like, none of this really is considered a main priority except for Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. But they really, now the women again are just like the low on the totem pole in terms of creativity and in terms of character development. Those things they struggle with on a daily basis with your regular superstars, your male superstars, but the female superstars, they are really, really, really phoning it in and not even trying. They're not.
I agree.
And I think that for people to be like, oh, they're punishing Lana, I don't think they give a shit about Lana.
No.
I don't think they care enough to punish Lana.
No
I don't. I don't think she's a thought in their, I don't think she's on their radar at all. I don't think they're saying to themselves, oh yeah, we gotta punish Lana because of Rusev. She is so low on the frickin' totem pole of what they care about. The laundry list of things that they care about, it is not the women's division.
No.
None of these women.
And it's like, you know, Shayna Baszler could have been really something special when they brought her up. Instead, they jobbed her out to Becky Lynch. You know, but the loss of Becky Lynch definitely impacts the show. Charlotte Flair not being there impacts the show. But that's all they have.
That's all they have, and you
that's
can't.
All they have. I mean, I'm not discounting what Asuka's doing. But Asuka has nobody to go against. I'm saying that they're missing people that they can they can plug in with Asuka and have a good match.
That was the same
but
problem
there's
with
nobody
Becky and Charlotte.
there's nobody on the roster right now that's capable of having a good like a competent match with Asuka without Asuka having to just carry them. Not Natalya, not Lana, not Shayna, not Nia, not Mandy Rose. I mean, I feel bad for Mandy Rose even having to come over to this, but she's not it either. She's definitely not going to be it. Not fucking Ruby Riott, not Liv Morgan. Nobody.
Think the women's division at this point too.
Peyton Royce, Billie Kay.
No, I don't think the women's division at this point should have a separate rosters. I think all of them should just be together. And I think especially the women. And I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't like SmackDown and Raw necessarily too. But I get it. But I think the women should just be like, it should be fluid. It should just be like it's either or at this point. Because you have somebody like Naomi who could, you know, potentially have like a nice match.
She's done. It's over. It's over for her. They've done nothing with her.
But
Bianca Belair languishing. At least she got a video package tonight. But they have done nothing with her. She debuted at WrestleMania on the main roster. And they've done nothing with her.
No, they don't care. Again, the women are low on the totem pole, and it's really
I think they need to stop breaking their fucking arms over their backs, patting themselves on the back. You know, talking about their women's revolution because it's over.
It's over.
Built nobody.
It's nobody. Over. No.
Nobody in years.
And I'm sorry, everyone makes fun of me all the time when I keep talking about those Bella twins.
The best.
Sorry, they really brought attention to that division because they were not going to be the ones that were sitting around waiting for things to happen. They were making matches. They were having matches. People were interested. Maybe if you weren't, maybe if you booed them, people were still interested.
Yep.
So don't give me that shit that nobody cared about the Bella twins.
That's right. Uh-oh. Just in time. And there's no reason to talk about the main event. Their Retribution's first match against the Hurt Business. What a shit finish they booked for that one. T-Bar or Dijakovic punches Lashley in the face and the referee throws the match out. Why?
I don't know.
Well, how does that fucking make any sense?
Listen, on my ending note real quick, obviously I give the show like triple million thumbs down, but I think that there's some serious damage control that they need to start doing. This can't continue with these Raws. And I'll just say that.
I agree.
Me personally, good night, everyone. Mike is still going to stay on for a few minutes.
I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. But one more thing. One last question for you.
Yes.
Don't you wish that this was the Raw that we did our 100th show
on? Oh, absolutely.
What a banger the 100th show would have been.
Absolutely. Is the camera off?
Yeah, we're off. You're good. All right. So, what the hell did you just say? Because I just had a thought run through my mind. Just like Victoria was just talking about like the damage done to this show. Like they've been doing irreparable damage, through these last couple of years, whittling down their fan base, and you're not gonna convince me that all those people just decide to cut the cord. No way. They have driven people away in droves. I can't even tell you how many people that I know that have watched this show, and it wasn't like they were just WCW fans. Like they watched this show all the way through up to like, this up to like last year or this year, and they all said, "I'm checking out." I've talked to fans that are 25 years watching this product, and they said, "I've had it. I can't watch it anymore." And and of course then the next defense will be, well, it's not booked for them, it's booked for children. And which is like the same excuse that they talk about Star Wars, which we're talking about two different things, but the fandom's kind of the same. Where people take it very seriously. It's the children don't watch. Their numbers in terms of that young group, they don't watch. They're not watching the show. I teach in a high school. I don't hear any kids talking about professional wrestling, and I make it like everybody knows I like wrestling in the school. It's not any secret, but they can't. Victoria's right. They can't continue like this. They're below 2 million. Like way below 2 million. And that was a number that was unthinkable for Monday Night Raw. Pandemic or not, that was an unthinkable number. And if they had done anywhere close to a halfway decent fucking job on this show, they were averaging at least close to 3 million last year, for at the high points of the year, at least close to it, and sometimes over it. 2 years ago, they were over 3. And it was like, oh my God, they got down to 2.8. Like, that's incredible. They've been driving people away with these storylines. I mean, Raw, we've talked about that ad nauseum, but like Raw going to 3 hours just fucking crippled them. You can't tell a coherent story, having to drag everything out over a 3-hour show. You can't help but overexpose people, but they'll take the money. They'll always take the money. They don't really give a shit about the fan. They'll take the fucking money. But these shows, knowing that they can get away with it just by pumping in fake crowd noise and, there's no crowd here, so we're not going to hear anybody boo. We control the whole room. They're going to kill themselves. We are literally watching like fucking Vince McMahon walk out there and just blowing his brains out on TV every week because they have nothing going here. Like they are going to just drive away whatever fan base is left. I'm not going to say they're going to go out of business. This isn't like the apocalypse or anything like that. They'll always survive, but they're going to be just the hemorrhoid of the entertainment industry. They'll never ever get a hot streak again. There's never going to be another John Cena. There's never going to be another Stone Cold Steve Austin. Roman Reigns is great, and Paul Heyman's going to do everything that he can with him. But it's already like, whatever Roman Reigns is, he's a much diminished version of the stars of yesteryear. And I love Roman Reigns. I wish the best for him. I root for him. And I think he's doing a great job on SmackDown. But he can't even tie the shoes of his predecessors. Not in terms of ability. The guy actually probably has more ability than any of his predecessors. But in terms of drawing, getting people interested, he'll never be that. It's never going to be that. With the structure they have, with what they're putting out there every week on this, especially on this show, this Monday Night Raw, they'll never get another hot streak again. There'll never be anything close to being anywhere sniffing in the area of, an actual pop culture phenomenon. It's wrestling itself is a dying genre. Just with the same couple million people tuning into all the shows, like we get, combined 1.6 million of the hardcores watching AEW and NXT every week. That's all that's left. And then a couple people flipping through the channels or a couple people that kind of hung in there and, just gutted it out because it's just, I used to watch with my dad. I used to watch with my grandfather. My mother and I used to watch the show. That's why they still watch, and it's just like, well, Monday night's wrestling night for me. I just watch it, even if I don't enjoy it anymore. Even if it's just on the background, some people just tune in. But there's the hardcores. There's not as many as we think that there are, and they've whittled away every other person who could potentially be an actual fan. I mean, they're on over 100 million homes with Fox, and they're under 2 million that are interested on a network show that everybody gets Fox. This is a disaster, and I don't even know if there's anything that can be done to right the ship. That's the scary part. If Vince McMahon stepped down now and just said, I'm giving creative control to Paul Levesque or whatever it is, and they go and do an excellent job and build stars, I don't think that there's any turning around. I think, you need those fans that to get interested and come back. I don't know if you're going to make new fans, but you got to bring the old ones back, and I don't think there's anything that they can do to bring old fans back. It's just, they've moved on. So this really is like a dying genre. Maybe that's why they put all their eggs in a Saudi Arabia basket every year, because maybe they're saying like, okay, we've overstayed our welcome in America. Saudi Arabia, Europe, Asia, that's going to be the next that's going to be where the next boom is going to take place, not America. So we have to start, looking to get our stuff out of America. Maybe that's why they are so invested in going overseas and putting on those big shows. I don't know, but they must see some metrics in America that, it's not there. Whatever. It's shit. All right, everybody. What do you give this show? I think you know what I'm giving this show. It's an emphatic thumbs down. I couldn't put it down anymore without breaking the actual digits. I'm going to look at... Okay, so it doesn't have on Twitter, it doesn't have the rating of the lowest Raw ever, which was, I think it was like 93% thumbs down for that Raw where Dean Ambrose got the vaccine in his ass. The night that Dean Ambrose decided, or Jon Moxley now, decided that he was going to leave the company. It was when he got the needle in the ass at the veterinarian's office. He's like, they botched me. But we're still at 87% thumbs down. So I'm in agreement with that. What say you in the chat rooms? I'm interested to see this. I can't even imagine somebody giving a thumbs up, but it's possible. Nafis thumbs down my throat. Freebird, I give it a 4 out of 10. Det Morales, that is. Thumbs up for giving Mike a reason to rant I didn't watch. Good for you, Hayden. Good for you. Mashoon, thumbs down for a crappy show. Brian, 5 sling blades down. Daniel Shaw, down in the drain. Andrew Elder, a giant turd. Tonight's Raw, 1 zillion gravestones, enough said for Quentin. Jorge Oliva, Raw was a thumbs down, but everyone slapjack alike on this great Raw rant recap. Thumbs up for Mike's recap from Mashoon. Thank you. 5 Banes down from Brian. Way down, and I had to clap for everything. LOL. Billy Hefner on the ThunderDome. It's like, I got in for the ThunderDome on SmackDown this week. Well, I got the call sheet, and I just decided not to go. I don't even want to watch wrestling in my free time anymore. It's like, and the ThunderDome is so incredibly boring. It's so like you get to see cool things during commercial breaks, which I like, but damn. Shifty Gizm, I didn't watch, but the couple episodes of Miami Vice I watched were pretty good. Good for you. Ashley, I take the thumbs and stick them into my eyes. I think that's a down. Yes. I actually said to somebody tonight, I was like, because I was like, why are they still doing Rollins versus Mysterio? Like, maybe they're going to do another eye versus eye match and remove the second eye. I was like, dude, I want to remove my fucking eye watching this thing. And Hayden Barker says we're 3 subs closer to 1,000. That is really good. I didn't even look at the subs yet. That's excellent news. Keep getting people to subscribe to our channel. We are so close. And thank you everybody for your support. Thanks for sticking around for the show tonight. It's been consistent audience all night, me and Victoria really appreciate that. this Sunday there's some pay-per-view. I don't know how the fuck you could watch this show and get excited and even want to watch a pay-per-view or even want to watch another product by WWE, but we'll have me and Doug will be on there. I believe we're going to do a live watch along, but I don't even know if I have the stomach for it. We might just tell them we're going to do just a straight up Wrestleview live, but look out for that. We'll make an announcement as the week goes on. In the meantime, I will be back for the NXT recap on Wednesday. Follow Wrestleview for all the news going on in professional wrestling. I'm Mike Tedesco, the editor-in-chief. Again, thank you everybody so much for joining us. Next week is show number 99. We are so close to 100 now. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. 99 episodes, and almost everybody in this room right now has been there from day one. So thank you for your support. Again, Mike Tedesco, the editor-in-chief of Wrestleview. I will see you on Sunday. Take care and have a great rest of your week.